Let's see what is the example test 8. So class center has got 4 members: name, address, and PRN numbers. So name of the center, address of the center, and PRN numbers of that center. So that's an array of int. Then we have getter and setter methods for each. Sorry, setter methods are not there because parameterized constructor is there. So setter method is not there, but getter methods are there. Get name, get address, get PRN numbers. Since PRN numbers is an array, return type of get PRN numbers is int array. And then we have parameterized constructor for center. That means when you create object of center, you are supposed to pass name, address, and PRN numbers. Array you are supposed to pass. And then we have toString method overridden, which displays name, address, and PRN numbers of that center. In the main function, center C1 is equal to new center Vita Mumbai and new int 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. So while creating center class object, you are supposed to pass name of the center, address of the center, and int array, which consists of some PRN numbers. Now we have int array we are passing, which consists of 5 numbers, 100 to 500. And then SOP C1. So that will print center. Okay, so let us draw the diagram for this. When we create an array and when that array goes to parameterized constructor, what happens? So C1 is a reference. C1 is a reference which refers to an object of center, and center object has got name, address, and PRN numbers. So this is the object of center, which consists of name, address, and PRN numbers. PRN NOs. Okay. This object is stored at 2000, so C1 will refer to that. C1 will refer to that object. Okay. Now when you pass Vita and Mumbai, they go inside name and address. And then array. Now this array will be created on the heap. This array will be created on the heap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 0, 1, 2, base address 100, 104, 108, 112, 116. Okay, and we have numbers 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Now this array when you pass, that gets collected in PRN numbers reference variable of that object. So it will get 100 as a base address. It means this PRN number refers to this array. Okay. SOP C1 will print whatever is there in the object, name, address, and all PRN numbers. Okay. Then C1.set name, C1.set address, C1.set PRN numbers not possible because setter methods are not there. C1.get PRN numbers. Now when you call getter method C1.get PRN numbers, it gives you what? It gives you that reference, and that reference you collect inside temp. Inside temp. So temp is what? Temp is one reference on the stack. Temp is one reference on the stack. Temp collects what? PRN numbers. PRN numbers contains 100. So temp also will have 100. So that means temp reference also refers to the same array. Temp reference also refers to the same array. Okay. Then let's display all PRN numbers. So I0, I less than temp.len, I plus plus. SOP temp of I. That will display all PRN numbers because temp is referring to the same array. Since temp is referring to the same array, using temp when you display, all the numbers will be displayed. Temp of 1 is equal to 0. Temp of 1 is equal to 0. So what will happen? Temp of 1 means this. So 200 will go and 0 will come. And that violates immutability. That violates immutability. You have taken care of immutability by not passing, by not defining setter methods or by not providing setter methods. In this class center, you have maintained that immutability by not providing setter methods. So one can just create the object and display that object. One cannot call setter methods on that object. So that way you have maintained immutability. But what has happened here? Temp of 1 is equal to 0 when you say your original array will get modified, and that violates immutability. Now when you display SOP C1, so what is C1? C1 is name Vita, address Mumbai, PR numbers. PR numbers 100, 0, 300, 400 and 500. So because of this point, temp 1 of 1 is equal to 0, you have violated immutability. So now what can be done? What can be done now? One of PR numbers is 0 now. That should not happen. Check the diagram. It has happened because of that getter method. But now we can't say don't provide getter method. Getter method you have to provide.
Sir, declare class as a final.
Declare class as a final. So what will happen with that? Final class cannot be inherited now. Here there is no inheritance happening.
Sir, if we don't provide the temp reference, then also it is fine.
No. But here the logic inside main is main function would like to just display that array. Maybe to perform any arithmetic calculation, suppose यहाँ पे SOP temp of I is there, but suppose temp of I multiply by 2. Just main function would like to display. Something like that. That's why main function would like to get all PRN numbers.
Sir, we will remove that index.
We will remove that
index if user input.
Hello, sir. Sir, create temp as a new array and copy all the elements.
It will cost memory, sir.
हाँ, it will cost memory, but वैसे ही कुछ करना पड़ेगा.
We will remove that index.
Remove that index कहाँ से? कौन सा index? ये?
हाँ, 1 वाला.
So that will be a syntax error.
तो PRN नंबर 0 भी दिखाना है क्या आप?
हाँ?
0 भी दिखाना है क्या PRN नंबर? या वो रिमूव ही करना है पूरा?
नहीं. Main function, since main function has got temp as an array, main function would like to change that. Or suppose main function changes that. That will change our original array, na?
Modified array.
हाँ.
Sir, modification of array.
हाँ, modification of array हुआ ना यहाँ पे. Temp 1 of 0 when you say it modifies original array.
Yes, sir.
That is what we don't want.
So we can create copy of array and then modify it.
हाँ. Here's something you have to do like that. When you say get numbers, you need to create copy of that array. So original array remains safe. And whatever modification main would like to do, main function, that those modifications will happen on the copy. That's fine. So something like that we have to do. Here, get PRN numbers returns the original array. And using temp, whatever you do, except SOP. SOP से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. But temp of 1 is equal to 0 or temp of 1 is equal to temp of 1 multiplied by 2 or 3. That will modify your original array. That is what we don't want. So here some of the suggestions are, when get PR numbers is called, return the copy of that array. So in that, with copy 1, with copy 1. Okay. Now let's see once again. Class center, string name, address, PRN numbers. No setter method. Getter methods are there. But look at getter method of PRN numbers. What does it do? It creates similar array, which is a part of object. It creates similar array which is a part of object, and return that, and it returns that. So it does not return the reference, it does not return the original array, it creates similar array which object has got and returns that newly created array. So now how this example will work. Rest of the places no change. Huh? So first of all, center C1 is equal to new center. When you do that, what happens? Okay, center C1 is equal to new center. This thing happens, which we have discussed already. You pass name, address to the object, and then you pass array created. So this array is created on the heap, and it is collected in a PRN numbers variable, reference variable. So PRN numbers will refer to the base address of that array, and then we display that as usual. Now when we say C1 dot get PRN numbers, here there is a difference. C1 dot get PRN numbers, so get PRN numbers method will be called, and it creates similar array. It creates similar array. So two hundred, 204, 208, 216. And this array will be referred by PRN copy, which is a local variable, local reference variable. PRN copy. PRN copy reference variable will refer to this newly created array. Data is same. So in this get PRN number method, we have created this array from the scratch, and we have taken care that this newly created array will have exactly same data, 100 to 500, exactly same data. And return PRN copy. Return PRN copy will go to temp. That means temp, another reference variable on the stack, will refer to this newly created array where PRN copy refers, and then once getter method is over, this PRN copy will be destroyed. So temp refers to the newly created array, different array, not that array which is referred by object. And now, yes, you display all the elements. Temp of 1 is equal to 0. Temp of 1 is equal to 0. We are changing this array, not the original array. So no problem as we are modifying copy. So here we have maintained that immutability. Here we have maintained immutability of center class. Not only we have provided, not only by not providing setter methods, but also by taking care that getter method will return a different array. Getter method will return a different array.
सर विदाउट कॉपी वाला थोड़ा साइड बाय साइड रख के दिखाइए ना उसका मेन क्लास।
विदाउट कॉपी वाला
उसको साइड को रख के थोड़ा दिखाइए ना मेन क्लास, मतलब वो ऊपर का क्लास अपना।
हाँ दिस वन
एंड विदाउट कॉपी वाला और उसके साइड बाय साइड कंपैरिजन करो।
हाँ without copy wala you just have to look at this get PRN numbers. Return PRN numbers. Whereas here we create an array from the scratch and we return that. And we take care that all the numbers are same.
सर ये हार्ड कोडेड है ना मतलब
हाँ, so in short we create copy of that original array and return. But in order to create that copy, we actually create array from the scratch by saying int PRN copy is equal to new int 100, 200, 300, 405.
Okay. So in case of sir multiple means if there are 100 entries, then we have to create.
Yeah. So this is the drawback actually. Drawback of the technique to create copy. Here you have created array from the scratch. When you create array from the scratch, you have to take care that you write each and every value same as the original array. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So like that, if you have 100 numbers, so every number you have to take care while creating that array, new array. But we have some better way that we'll see in next program. We have some better way of copying.
That can be achieved by for loop also, no? Copying.
But again, you have to run that for loop.
Yes. 100 times you have to run.
Yeah. So we have got one faster way of creating copy.
So can we say it acts like intern, but the difference is intern is used in string?
No, intern, let us not discuss. Intern is altogether different. It is what we have created copy and we are returning it. So our main function gets altogether different array. So our original array is not disturbed. With copy too. Now we'll see some better way of creating copy. Fastest way of creating copy in this. And what is that? Look at this. Here we are not creating array from the scratch. That statement is commented. Rather we say int PRN copy is equal to PRN numbers dot clone. So in Java, clone method is used to create copy. PRN numbers dot clone. Now whether array contains 5 numbers or array contains 100, 1000, lakh numbers, it is going to create a copy. You don't have to worry. And when it creates copy, when it creates copy with the clone, exactly same diagram. So this newly created array you consider as that copy. So we don't have to bother about storing each and every number from the scratch. So PRN numbers dot clone method that creates a copy and you return that copy, and that copy as usual comes to temp. You display temp and you modify that temp. So this is much better way of creating copy. PRN numbers dot clone method.
Sir, clone method inbuilt uses the same technique what you showed us.
Yeah. Clone method creates object on the heap. Clone method creates object on the heap. The difference is when you create object on the heap, you use new keyword. When you create object on the heap, you use new keyword. But clone is the way of creating object without new. But the object is created same. That's why I said same diagram. Not a single change in the diagram. So this is the effect of clone.
So is this concerned with only arrays or
Any object? But there are conditions now. We'll see. For your information, clone method is available in object class. And since object class is a parent of all the classes, every object can call clone method. Can call clone method.
सर वो गेटर मेथड दिखाइए.
कौन सा?
गेटर
गेटर ही है ना. दिस इज गेटर मेथड. PR numbers dot clone. PRN numbers is a reference referring to original array. On that PRN numbers to call clone. So it will give you ditto same array in the heap. And that array initially is referred by PRN copy. And when you return PRN copy, it is collected inside temp. So PRN copy being a reference variable is destroyed and temp refers to that array. So diagram remains same. Only programmer's efforts are saved because programmer has to just say clone and programmer will get a fresh object on the heap, which is a copy of original object. Okay. Now here, important points about object cloning in Java that we will refer. Important points about object cloning in Java. Java.lang.object class has protected object clone throws clone not supported exception. Clone not supported exception is a checked exception. Look at the signature of clone. What is different here from other methods is this method is protected. This method is protected. So protected, what do we know about protected accessibility so far? Let us revise.
Same package and
In the subclass
in